What's going on, y'all? Today we're going to be doing a speed build and review of LEGO set 75348, the Mandalorian Fang Fighter versus the TIE Interceptor. This set's now retired, but it originally ran for $100. 9+ set has 957 pieces. Set comes with 3 minifigs and a droid. And those would be, let's see if I can move it around the mic for you. Boom. So we got Mando, we got the Mandalorian Fleet Commander, TIE Fighter Pilot, and then I believe that is R2-E6. Yes. So, not too up on my Imperial droids. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to build these. We'll go bag by bag. We'll look at the minifigures, the ships, the usual for the reviews, and then we'll kind of talk about it. A couple things I like about the build before we even get into it is you get the 2 ships, right? So you got 2 ships, you got 3 figs and a droid. Great for playability. I think that this one's going to score pretty high for playability. It's made for that. And then you could probably make some pretty cool mocks out of the 2 as well. So yeah, without further ado and knocking my mic over, let's get into it. Alright, that's bag 1 complete. So basically what you get with that first bag is the bottom outline of the ship. It's not too thick, it's pretty flat, but you get basically what you can kind of see from here. And then you do get Din, and then I was showing off this 25th anniversary Darth Maul that comes in the revamped LEGO encyclopedia. He's very cool. I thought it was a good opportunity to get him on here, especially since the Darksaber and Maul are basically tied together pretty integrally through Clone Wars. So yeah, that's bag 1, and now we're gonna get on to bag 2. Alright, so that finishes up bag 2, and what we're going to do here is we'll get bag 3 open and then we'll look at the ship. One of the very first things I noticed, besides the fact that we're going to be building the Fleet Commander for this bag, is already a printed piece, which, I mean, again, for the price point, not surprised at all. So the ship, a little bit thicker. The way that you build the cockpit for this is really cool, placing it in from underneath so that it keeps that kind of flatness but still gets the depth for the character to sit in. And then yeah, you get the printed piece for the enclosure, which looks really good. It came in packaging again. I don't understand why this set at its price point had more printed pieces than a smaller set that cost almost the same amount. Still a little bitter over that one. But yeah, so we'll get into bag 3 now, and we'll review that bag once we get through it. Alright, and with that completes bag 3, and that completes the ship. So all we got left to do is throw the brick shooters in there, and then move on to kind of showing off the different features of the ship itself. So what we can see here is we have the cockpit for the fleet commander to sit in, take his accessories out of his hands just so that way he can sit in there properly. He can sit in there with the helmet. I was trying to figure out if it would work or not. It does work. You just have to take the visor and push it down. So, front opens up. You can throw in his weapons in there for storage, which is nice. And then click it back on. Really easy, cool build there. And yeah, overall looks good. So that's him in there without the helmet. I put it on his lap for some reason, trying to get it to fit when I didn't realize that it would. And yeah, it's a cool ship. Looks good. We'll go break it down a little bit more in the review. And I like the translucent blues on the back as well. I thought those looked really cool for the engines firing. So yeah, on to bag 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, which will be the TIE Fighter. Alright, and with bag 4 done, we got the basically pilot area for the Interceptor, and it's got the opening there, and we got the hinge already set up for the front piece, which we'll be seeing here shortly. And yeah, looks good. Let's keep it moving. Alright, and now bag 5 is down. We have basically the entire middle of the Interceptor done. We got 2 openings for the pilot, and as you can see, we got another 2 printed pieces, which is phenomenal. They could have easily done a sticker for the top portion of that hatch, but you know what? They gave us a printed piece, and I absolutely love it. This thing is hefty, and it's ready to get these wings started to get attached to, so let's go. And there we go, we got bag 6 down. That gives us the full center of the ship without the wings attached. It does have the attachment points completely put on. And yeah, again, these pivot points are just so nice right here. I really enjoy the way those feel. They are sturdy. This thing is going to be a beast when it's complete, I can already tell. But yeah, let's get these wings on and the shooters in, and we'll go from there. Alright, bag 7 in the books. There we go. You build opposite wings. The symmetry of this has been such a fun build. And like, you can just see how big this thing is before we even get the rest of the wings on there. Like, it is heavy in my hand. This is one of the sturdier builds that I've gotten to experience for the Star Wars ships, and I am just super stoked so far. Let's get this last bag going, and then we'll get into the review. Now that we have these built, let's get into the review. First thing we'll look at is displayability. So, when looking at the Mandalorian Fang Fighter, display-wise, it looks good. It's a little flat for display, so that's the only thing I can really knock on it. If you do put it up, you're going to have to tilt it to give it some depth, really. This is a good one. I mean, even on the box it shows it tilted, right? So that's how you know how flat it is. They knew. But you got enough room for the Mandalorian Fleet Commander to go up front. You do have to put the toggle down because it will not fit. You do have a compartment up front here for the weapons to go in as storage, which is nice. It does come with 2 laser shooters at the bottom. I took them out this time because I've almost shot myself in the eye once, and every other time I touch this thing, they seem to launch across my room, and I'm kind of tired looking for them. So, displayability on that one's pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. Same, but the complete opposite right here is the TIE Interceptor. This thing is beefy. Now, you'd want to probably display it to the front, cant it a little bit. I think that it's got some good space right here in the front in general if you want to kick it open. Here and here. Boom. Show off the TIE Fighter pilot, which looks nice in there. And yeah, I think that this thing is super beefy, super hefty. We're gonna get there. But right now, for display wise, this thing, I mean, the two together, definitely a 4.5 out of 5. It was almost perfect, but unfortunately the Fang Fighter holds it back a little bit just because of how flat it is. And you're gonna have to do a little bit of a build up to get them to be in a good position together. As for playability on these, like, these things are made to be played with, right? They come together in a set on purpose. They come with minifigures that are antagonists to each other on purpose. Like, it is a purposeful play set. And for the $99.99, I mean, you really can't ask for much more. These ships are way bigger than I thought they were going to be. After building Anakin and Ahsoka the last time, like, pales in comparison to these. Like, they're sturdier, they're better to play with. Yeah, the wings on the Interceptor are a little bit long, which could cause some issues down if you do any kind of crash landing, but I mean, as adults, we're probably not going to purposely do that unless we're trying to set something up. But for a kid, you know, playability wise, 5 out of 5. They go whoosh, and that's about it. You got your two shooters on both of them. The TIE Interceptor comes with the green lasers, obviously, and the Fang Fighter comes with the red. Again, not putting them in because the last time I did that, they shot across the room. Next up, we'll look at the difficulty, expertise, you know, and experience of the set. Building the set, you'll see in the video that I did struggle a little bit with the Fang Fighter, getting some of the pieces lined up and then missing a couple pieces. Again, like I said in the last review, I'm still getting used to building on camera, and I think that kind of is what the issue comes into, is it's more of a me thing than a difficulty thing, right? It's a 9+ set. The build is pretty simple. The only thing I'm really going to knock it for points-wise is just the repetitiveness, but there is something pretty soothing. I had way more fun building the Interceptor. This thing, something about the symmetry along the lines while building it was just so much fun. Looking at both pieces, kind of seeing how things lay out, and then figuring out what pieces are going to go where and not having to really read the instructions was pretty awesome. So it docks barely any points, but I do give it a 4.8 out of 5 just because I don't think it was a difficult build, but there were a couple times where the instructions, because of this all white and gray, there was some issues for me. I think someone who's more experienced building, especially on camera, probably wouldn't have had so many issues. So yeah. Lastly, we're going to look at the price versus the quality, right? So like usual, like last time, we're going to look at the amount of pieces that come in it, the price per piece, the minifigs, all of that good stuff. So you get your 3 minifigs, right? We get the Mandalorian, Din, and he comes with his Darksaber, which is pretty sweet. Nice piece. This is the newer version of the Darksaber that came out recently. I believe it came out in 2023, which is a huge upgrade from the old one that just was basically a black lightsaber. He comes with his jetpack. My only real issue with him is the lack of a hairpiece. I know 99% of the time he's going to keep his helmet on, especially because this is the way. But I might have to grab a Fantastic Four set just so I can get another Pedro head and throw the hair on there. Anyways, so this version of Din came in 5 sets. I'm going to throw those up real quick so that way, in case you want to see if there are any that you want to grab down the line or you'd like me to build, I'd happily do it. And I think that overall for this, you know, price point and everything, he comes in 5 sets. He's not exactly exclusive, but it's a good looking fig, good prints. Next up, we will look at the Mandalorian Fleet Commander. So, Mandalorian Fleet Commander comes in 2 sets, these two here, and he also has some great print. He does have a hairpiece, which is not on my desk right now. So boo me, I will cut in a clip of him with a picture with the hairpiece right there. So other than that, but yeah, he looks pretty good. He's got the jetpack as well. You know, he comes with one blaster, one, I think it looks like an EMP grenade, but I could be wrong. It is a pretty cool little disc for him though, and you'll see that when I throw them all on the turntable so you can get a better look at them all. And then obviously with the Interceptor, you're going to get the TIE Fighter pilot. This one is in 3 sets total. So again, not exactly exclusive, but not as well printed out as, say, Din is, right? I mean, it is the Mandalorian line, so you do expect to get quite a few of him. My main complaint is they gave this poor pilot no hair. Like, how are you going to do that to them? I know they're supposed to be the faceless antagonist that just flies the Interceptor and, you know, gets blown up anyway. So we shouldn't get too attached. But I feel like if you're going to give one of them a hairpiece, you could have gave all 3 of them a hairpiece, right? Like, what's that put you up to? 959 pieces? Well, 959 pieces, because it'd be 2 hair pieces. Anyway, that's my only complaint. Also, the helmet comes off super easy. Other than that, it's a good looking fig. Not bad. The most interesting one though is right here, R2E6. This is the only set that's has come in. And it's a really cool droid. Like, it has some great printing on the front. It's basically just a black R2D2 because it's the same type of droid. But what's my only complaint going forward with a lot of these droids is there's no more back printing, and it just feels like for the amount of money that these Star Wars sets cost, right? Like this one, and then in the Ahsoka set, and then even the R2D2 that I'm in the middle of building, there are no back printing, and that's super disappointing. Like, you would think with Star Wars that you would at least go full out print. I mean, you got back printing on the TIE Fighter, you even got unnoticeable back printing here on the Fleet Commander, and even on Din himself is going to have some back printing. So really, I mean, I just don't understand why, you know? Maybe someone who's a little bit more well-versed can tell me and let me know in the comments why there isn't. But hey, that's just me. That's me nitpicking at this point, because overall, when we're looking at the quality of the figures, when we're looking at the quality of these builds again are some hefty ships, right? So overall, I give the price versus quality on this one a 5 out of 5. You get the updated version of the Darksaber. You get 2 pretty decently sized ships for play. You get an exclusive droid. You get 3 figures, and for the piece count, you're looking at about 11 cents per piece because it came out at $99.99, which is overall fantastic. I give it 5 points on that one. So yeah, like, I'm super happy with this set. I don't know why it took so long to build it. It's retired now, so I do have to say I highly recommend it. So this comes out to a 19.3 out of 20. This set gets an A, the first A of the channel, which is fantastic for it. Super proud of it, hey. But yeah, I highly recommend it. Go grab this set. It's a fun build. It's a great display piece, and it was only $99.99 back then, and I can see on eBay, here's a couple listings right here, that are still pretty cheap or cheaper than what it came out at. So, great build, really fun to play with the pieces. My kids and I are going to have a blast playing with these. These definitely are not going to be stuck in the shelf, that's for sure. So, as always, I appreciate y'all. thank you so much for watching. We are climbing closer and closer to 500 subs, which will be our first giveaway on YouTube. And we're still ways away on TikTok. But if you want to follow me on both, if you like the long form comment, or if you like the long form content, YouTube's the way to go. But if you want just like the short bursts, like my thoughts, quick fire, don't got the time for a full video, then TikTok's the way to go there. I also post all my shorts on YouTube and TikTok, so they are cross-posted. So if you've seen them on one, you've seen them on the other. But I'll never say no to likes and follows either way. Again, thank you so much for watching. Peace.